coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna
so I will help
it's
with
gonna
it
be
and push across.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just get it in the right place for a start.
This rappers and technology doesn't work. So hello everyone. Yeah, so this is my life, the life of Daniel Younghusband. I've had a fortunate life, yes I have, and I'm fortunate to have amazing support of parents, family and friends. Although I've been fortunate, I've had an unlucky and unfortunate start. I was born in Zimbabwe. I weighed 3 pounds, or just under, 1.5 kgs, exact. And I got something called sickle syndrome, which is why I look a little different. And the doctors didn't expect me to live for very long. I'm still here. And I also was also born with very poor eyesight, which we didn't find out until later on in my school years, when I couldn't read the blackboard. In New Zealand, I'm classified as legally blind. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life and journeys I've had. So this is a picture of me running athletics at school, and I always came first from the back, but I got the biggest chair though. And I could do almost everything my brothers could do, but when you have a disability, kids stare, and it doesn't feel nice. It makes you angry inside, but what you're born is what you got. You can't change it. What you can do is learn to overcome it, as that is the true test of your courage. This is what my disability meant for me. I was fortunate to go on a ski holiday to Austria, to a resort called Ischgl, and it was the first time that my brothers and I had seen snow. So you can guess the first thing that happened, big snowball fight. And once we got our skis and poles and boots and that, we got to the top of the mountain, where our cousins taught us how to ski. But they forgot to teach us how to stop. So, yeah, where am I going? Fall over to stop and carry my skis up the top again. Now, my family all wore distinctive jackets so that I could see, and at this resort there were over 200 slopes. And I happened to lose sight of them and ended up skiing another 5Ks, also being the only one on the slope, until I reached a little town and picked up my skis and boots, wondering where I was, trying to figure out. And what I realized is I was in the wrong country. I just skied to Switzerland. So I had no idea how to get back, and you can imagine, having very poor eyesight. It wasn't very fun. Anyway, so I asked for help, but I must have asked more than 10 people, but nobody could speak English. Until one person could understand me, but all he could say in English was, "You wait here." What for? And he walks off. Okay. Looked around and assumed, must be for a bus. There's a bus stop there. So I waited for the bus, and when it came along, I went to ask the bus driver to take me to this cable car, which I was familiar with as I had been to this place before. Thankfully, he could speak English and told me to hop on. I don't even remember paying for it when I got off. Anyway, I got back up to Austria, and by that time I was starving, and went straight to the restaurant at the top for a big feed. When I bumped into my folks, and they all asked where I'd been. Told them I went to Switzerland. So at first they didn't believe me, and then they realised I had, and they were think they're quite thankful I made it back. Yeah, I was, so yeah, I had the courage to ask people for help, otherwise I wouldn't have made it back. When you have a disability, you have to look for landmarks so you can, get around and that. As well as, so I had to, when we were fortunate to go on a on a sea holiday to Mozambique, which is a neighbouring country of Zimbabwe. And when we arrived, I would draw a line in the sand from the thatched house to the sea. So after swimming, I could walk up the beach, find my line, get back to the correct house. And if I couldn't find the house, I would go around the back, come in the back, find the cars, and come in the back way. I was lucky I didn't tell my brothers this, otherwise they would have drawn lines to every house. What that would have been like. One of my dreams was to get my driver's license, and the first chance I got, I jumped straight into steering wheel. And as I lived on a farm, I got to drive the tractors as well. But because of my eyes, I'll never be able to get my license. And when my brothers were getting their licenses, it was the first time that I felt like I was being left behind, as now I couldn't do everything my brothers could do. So I kind of felt really frustrated, angry, and quite upset really for quite a few years. But my brothers do let me drive their cars sometimes, off the roads of course. In 2002, we moved to New Zealand, my family and I, and 6 months after moving, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I lost a lot of weight. I was down to 22 kgs. Not that I was much to start with. And 6 months after that, I was doing an outdoor education course. And with a group of people, we got to do a tramp up to the top of Mount Arthur. I had to learn very quickly how to control my diabetes, especially with all this exercise. So if my levels were a little bit low from all the exercise, I would have to eat something. And if they were high, I would have to do a little bit of insulin, but I have to be careful not to overdo it, because exercise can bring it down. So if you go too high, well, you can die, and if you go too low, you go in a coma and die. Your two choices is keep it level. One choice. Anyway, as I was 22 kgs, my backpack weighed about the same that I did. So it was pretty heavy going for me. Anyway, I tramped on and I made it to the top. I felt really proud I had made it to the top, because at this point I couldn't do it at this moment. I would love to do it in the future again. And in 2011, I earned my black belt in State of Karate. And I had been training for 7 years to do this grading for the black belt. And in those 7 years, I had to also learn to control the diabetes with a different type of exercise now. As well as because of my eyes, not so good, I had to remember all the names and strikes in Japanese, as it was Japanese martial arts, which helped me in the long run anyway. That's also because I couldn't see the teacher demonstrating the moves. There's no point in copying somebody because they might have got it wrong, which always happened. And by the time I got to doing this grading, for some unknown reason, my strength in my body, and especially my legs, had become really weak. And I only was just able to get up off the floor, but I wasn't going to get up. I wasn't going to give up. I continued on and eventually earned my black belt. I enjoyed the State of Karate because at this because everybody at the place was all treated equal, so I never got any special treatments because of my disabilities or anything. I had to just do what everybody else did. And some challenges are too great for my disability, as I wanted to be a personal trainer, and I studied for 3 years to get my certificate in fitness, and I worked at several different gyms and places for the next 5 years or so. So all in all, it was probably about 8 years of studying and training. And I wanted to do this because I wanted to help people, as well as I wanted to be independent and earn money just like everybody else. But my leg strength now had decreased so much now. I'm using walking poles, which I've got over there, to get around. So eventually all those years of this, trying to get this career going had kind of come to an end, which was a bit frustrating for me. But as I say, when one door closes, another door opens. And I ended up creating my micro business, which is making power jewelry. And I do use a lot of my sense of touch to make sure that the shells are smooth around them, as well as I needed a bit of help, so I got 2 support workers to help me out, and we've now expanded into making different shapes and things and different designs, as well as fine silver and candles and scallop and power shells. So at the moment it's going really well. And I'll also actually be at the Christmas market at the end of this month. If you ever come down to that, I'll be there. And since then I've written my autobiography, which I called A Man Makes His Own Luck. And I called it that because you make your own luck in life. And what I've learned along the way is to accept who I am, make the most of my abilities. I've always set my goals ahead because it's helped me to move forward in life. And I've worked extremely hard to overcome my challenges. So my life has been hard, but I've stayed positive and never given up. I hope in hearing my story has helped you to think about your own life. Thank you.